We do predictions year over year, week over week, but none is bigger than this one. And this is one of the few. You already know which way I'm going. Please believe it. But first, let's pull up the do list. There it is. Right? These are our favorite fighters with a mixture of who we believe is going to win. Right? And Khamzat Chimaev has been at number one for probably 3 or 4 years now because he hasn't lost. And even though he's had setbacks, he's still my favorite fighter. I think he beats anyone on the planet. And if you give him enough time to prepare for a heavyweight fight, I think he would beat that guy too. I mean, that's just how I feel. And then, of course, you got to put Ilya and Islam 2 and 3. You can kind of flip those two around. But what Ilya's done recently, he's got to be number 2. Islam might go up and face JDM and beat him. And then you're going to have that super fight eventually. Then you got Shavkat 4. But there's Dricus Du Plessis at 5. So, that ought to tell you there's a lot of respect for Dricus Du Plessis. This is a guy that I truly like. I won't like him on Saturday. But in general, it's a guy I truly like. But not like Khamzat Chimaev. It's just different. Then you see other guys there with fights already on plan. Tom Aspinall, Merab Dvalishvili. And then you got Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev, 8 versus 10. And one of those two guys should really catapult up the rankings. It's just that they have to solidify who's the better fighter. And I think Pereira comes back here and probably gets the win just because he wasn't 100% before. But Ankalaev is a tough out. So that's where we stand on the do list as of right now. So as we march forward into this prediction, let's first take a look back. And we're going to let both of these play in succession. This is Dricus Du Plessis versus Robert Whittaker, and then Khamzat Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker. These are the reactions against a common opponent. Check this out.
And Whittaker's putting his hands down. He looks tired to me. We'll see. Whittaker slowing down. Du Plessis is not. Man, Du Plessis is a big guy because Robert Whittaker's big. Oh, he drops Whittaker with a right jab. Whittaker's back up. Whittaker's in a little trouble here. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Yes. Right, left, right. Let's go. Finish him. Finish him. Oh, yeah. Shot to the body. Go down, Whittaker. Yes. Finish him. Finish him. Jump in, ref. Let's go. Let's go. I told y'all, man. Yeah, Adesanya. Okay, we got a real middleweight title fight now. And this is all Khamzat right now as he pounds away. Ooh. Oh, he gets underneath. He tapped. That's it. Let's go. Let's go. What'd I tell y'all, baby? What'd I tell y'all? Come on. Give this guy a title fight. What? That looked like a neck crank. Robert Whittaker shaking his head. Let's go!
Yeah, so the emotions are real. The emotions are going to be real this Saturday night for this fight. And when it's your favorite fighter. I mean, you know anyway. But back in the day when Adesanya was making the walk, my stomach would be bubbling. I'd be nervous as heck. Khamzat now makes the walk. My stomach is bubbling even worse. My heart's pumping. I mean, so you see the emotion there is different than some other fights, or all other fights, really, because it's personal. But you also should notice there that I was really excited that Dricus Du Plessis beat Whittaker as well. And that just lets you know that I like both of these guys, but nobody is on the level of Khamzat Chimaev. That's the bottom line. And that's who we're going to be pulling for. But first, let's dive into the full detailed prediction right now.
In the middleweight division for the middleweight division title at UFC 319, finally, Dricus Du Plessis takes on Khamzat Chimaev. And ladies and gentlemen, this might be one of the biggest fights since I've been watching the UFC, and one of the biggest fights in a long time. So pay attention. to this prediction. Du Plessis, 23-2, champion, South Africa. Khamzat Chimaev, 14-0, United Arab Emirates, 14-0. He's 1 inch taller at 6'2". He's 31, so is Dricus Du Plessis. I mean, this is what you want. Two of the best in their prime. Du Plessis, 1 inch reach advantage, no big deal. Du Plessis, switch stance fighter, always an advantage. Khamzat fights right-handed. These guys are big-time strikers. Du Plessis, 6.1 significant strikes per minute to 5.4 for Khamzat. Okay. Du Plessis can land takedowns, nearly 1 takedown per round. Khamzat, like a takedown and a half, with a high submission average. Du Plessis, 50% takedown defense. That's going to be a problem. Khamzat, 100%. So if Du Plessis takes him down in this fight, it's going to be completely surprising and very interesting. Du Plessis coming off the win against Sean Strickland by decision. 147 to 128 significant strikes, beat Adesanya 4 takedowns to none, submitted him in the 4th round. Khamzat, after some tough fights with guys like Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns, both going to a decision, very close, kind of could have went either way. Okay. Also beat Kevin Holland by submission, beat Robert Whittaker, this is the big one, by submission via rear. Okay. So after people saw that, now you're like, okay, right? He's fighting a middleweight. He looks good. He's with new people, trainers, etc. So he looks like a different fighter. Really looked good against Robert Whittaker, but this is Dricus Du Plessis. He can't go in thinking it's just going to be easy. It might be, but he's got to go in laser focused, and I think that's what he's going to do. Listen, if you watch the channel, you know Khamzat is number 1 on the do list, so you know I'm not going against him, right? That's a foregone conclusion. If you don't pay attention to the channel and you're just watching this for the first time, number 1 on the do list, that means he's my favorite. I put him against anybody in the world almost in any weight class right now. So there's no way in my mind that Khamzat is losing, and I'm going to stick with that. But Dricus Du Plessis is a formidable opponent. Make no mistake about it. But Khamzat will still finish him sometime in the 1st or 2nd round to finally get the belt at 15-0 and 31 years old. That's my opinion. Main event, middleweight division, UFC 319.
No surprise there. We're going with Khamzat. It shouldn't be a surprise to you if you've been watching this podcast recently, over the last several years. It doesn't matter. You know, this is my guy. That's why he's number 1 on the do list. And we are ecstatic for this fight. Ecstatic. Can't wait. Going to be a very emotional night, hopefully for the better. Because if Khamzat loses, I'm going to be in a state of mourning. But I don't think that's going to happen, y'all. You got to discuss it, right? Because it's a fight. Anything can happen. And every time Khamzat fights, it's like I'm inside. I'm just praying because I'm like, man, if he loses this fight, I'm never going to hear the end of it. You know? But I don't believe that'll happen. I believe Khamzat is going to cruise to victory. People want to see a great fight. But much like Khamzat's other opponents, you got to come in and you already have that aura of, I better be careful here in the 1st round and stay away from some. If you try to be careful with Khamzat, it's a wrap. So Dricus got to come in and be totally confident, not worried about any of that stuff, and be the aggressor. And, you know, we'll see what happens. I just hope that it's a clean fight. I hope that both guys are 100% healthy. I hope neither guy gets injured during the fight, and I hope it plays out in a great way. I don't want one guy to, you know, like how Khamzat got hurt in the 1st round against Usman. Don't want that. And you really don't know till later. But I just hope it's a clean fight and we get the best possible fight that we deserve. And if this thing ends in a minute, great. And if it goes 25 minutes, not great. But we'll take whatever we get as long as both guys are injury-free and able to be at 100%. or as best you can as the fight goes on, but throughout the fight.